And it's at this point on Wednesdays, our Wednesday tradition, in fact, for a very long time now has been, Ask the Lawyer with Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, with questions largely submitted by you. I'll tell you how to submit a question coming up in just a second in case you'd like to do that, by the way. First, though, would you please help me welcome Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured. Good morning, Bruce.
Hey, good morning, Todd. How you doing this beautiful Valentine's Day morning?
Awesome. How about you?
I'm doing great, and I'd like to say happy Valentine's Day to all of your listeners.
Yeah, it's that day again. It's Love Day, and the weather's, I think, sort of cooperative, a little bit chilly. You might want to hold your honey a little bit closer that way, right?
That's correct.
All right.
It's gorgeous.
Well, let's see if we can't share a little love for somebody who's got themselves some trouble. And your wisdom, I know, will go a long way towards straightening out this situation. Are you ready for today's dilemma?
I am ready, Todd.
Okay, here's what our question says. My grandson recently moved into my house to attend FGCU and go home to his parents in the summertime. He uses a bicycle for transportation, even though my wife and I have 3 cars and would gladly lend him one. Unfortunately, while riding down the street, a car pulled out of the driveway, crashing into him, causing severe injuries as well as hospitalization. The doctors are saying my grandson will need multiple surgeries and rehab. I learned the driver was uninsured. Since my grandson doesn't have a car, and so, of course, my grandson doesn't have car insurance, is there anything my grandson can do? Another bicycle versus vehicle versus no insurance. A no insurance situation, unfortunately, all too common in these conversations, Bruce. What do you make of this one?
Well, the young man is in luck.
Oh, good.
And the reason he's in luck is because he is a resident relative of his grandparents' home.
Okay.
And as a resident relative of his home, he's entitled to collect under their insurance.
Okay.
So as a pedestrian, first of all, he's entitled to PIP, or personal injury protection coverage, which pays up to $10,000 of his medical bills.
Good start.
In addition to that, he's entitled to recover from his grandparents' uninsured motorist coverage.
Mm.
And if his grandparents carry stacked uninsured motorist coverage, which we talk about all the time, he would be able to add up the coverage for each of the 3 vehicles, so he would have the benefit of uninsured motorists stacked times 3 being the 3 vehicles.
That would be ideal.
That would be ideal. And there's another aspect to this scenario, and that is for a college student, he could have dual residence. In other words, he could be also a resident of his parents' household. And if he was a resident of his parents' household, in addition, he could recover under their uninsured motorist coverage.
Well, that's good news. I mean,
that's great news.
I was under the assumption the first thing the insurance company would do would be to challenge his residency. But it seems as if either way they go, he's still covered.
Well, and better than that, he could be covered both ways.
Yeah.
And, you know, residence is a matter of intent. In other words, he could be a resident of his grandparents' household during the school year and be a resident of his parents' household during the off season, and then he could be, as I said, he could recover from both.
Yeah.
And that, again, that emphasizes the need to speak with an experienced personal injury attorney.
And I see multiple surgeries. I see rehab. I see a long recovery process, and I say to myself, this is going to be very, very expensive. So it could require all of those resources you've just talked about.
It certainly could with today's cost of medical care.
Right.
You need the highest coverages you could possibly afford.
All right. So best bet, get a hold of a legal professional very quickly that specializes in this kind of thing, because they'll be able to get in and start working immediately to get the grandson some help.
That's correct, Todd.
Bruce, I knew you'd come through, as you always do, with some excellent news on this Valentine's Day that I'm sure is going to make the family very happy. And it makes me happy. And I thank you once again.
My pleasure, Todd. Looking forward to speaking to you next Wednesday.
As are we, as always. Bruce, please extend my Valentine wishes to the family, and we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks again, Todd.
Take care now. Bye-bye. Ladies and gentlemen, Bruce L. Scheiner, attorney for the injured, and the answer to the question of the week. Now, if you'd like to submit a question for future consideration, pretty easy to do. You simply go to our website and put Bruce in the keyword search box. That'll take you exactly where you need to go. If you do have an injury in the family, like was the case here, bypass what I just said, please, and call directly to the Port Charlotte office of Associates and Bruce L. Scheiner. That way they can get working immediately on your behalf. 941-743-7777. 941-743-7777. And tell them Todd Matthews sent you from Kicks Country 92.9.